You can't change anyone except yourself. Everyone, remember this. Adults should focus on selecting, not changing. Because you can't change anyone, not your partner, not your parents, not even your kids. The only person you can change is yourself. Only when you change will the world around you change. But a lot of people in relationships love to play the role of the savior, especially with those closest to them. Whenever you notice they have issues stemming from their past, you always want to fix them, help them out of their struggles. You see this as your personal responsibility. You think because you love them, because you're their partner, it's your duty to help them become better. But the reality is, you end up putting in a lot of effort and getting nothing in return. In psychology, there's a term called the malice of the helped. It means that when you're overly generous and boundaryless in helping someone, it can trigger the darker side of human nature. When the other person gets used to your help, your rescuing, they start to depend on you. Every time they face a problem, they come to you, waiting for you to fix it. But you're not omnipotent. When you can't meet their needs, they turn around and blame you, even resent you. And in the process of trying to change them, you drain your own energy. You need to understand that everyone's energy is limited. When you give your energy to someone else, it means you're sacrificing your own feelings and interests. But when your efforts aren't reciprocated, you feel unbalanced, gradually growing resentful and hurt. You feel like all your hard work isn't appreciated, and you end up trapped in pain and dissatisfaction. This leads to a strong desire for control. Wanting to change the other person becomes an obsession. The more they resist, the more you push. At first, you might just want to change one thing about them, but this obsession makes you want to control every aspect of their life, hoping they'll become the ideal version you have in your mind. This behavior often triggers their rebellious side, making them fight back until your relationship falls apart. So why do you feel responsible for saving them? First, we need to understand that always wanting to change someone is a classic sign of blurred boundaries. From a psychological perspective, a lack of boundaries often stems from either being overly cared for or severely neglected in the past. For example, if your parents spoiled you, met all your needs, and did everything for you, it's hard to develop a sense of independence and boundaries. In this kind of environment, you learn this relational pattern. You think love has no limits, and helping the other person become better is your undeniable responsibility. As a result, you fall into an invasive, codependent relationship. On the other hand, if you experience trauma in childhood, it might leave you with a sense of inner emptiness, making you feel like you lack value or even existence. In this case, you might try to save your partner using their improvement as a way to validate your own worth, to prove you're deserving of love, to prove you exist. In other words, you're trying to fill your own emptiness by saving someone else. You're really just saving yourself. So get it. Even if you claim it's for their own good, it's essentially a very self-centered act. And a self-centered person in any relationship tends to overgive, then overdemand and overcontrol, leading to endless self-doubt, anxiety, and pain. Alfred Adler once said, "The person who bears the consequences of something is the one responsible for it." And Hellinger said, "Whoever is suffering is the one who needs to change." Combining these two ideas, if the other person has flaws or shortcomings in their personality, they're the ones who should feel the pain, and they're the ones who need to change. If you see their pain and start feeling it too, then what you need to change is how you separate their issues from your own, how to distinguish what's theirs from what's yours. Instead of taking on their burdens and carrying their weight for them, learn to separate tasks. Don't get involved in other people's issues. Don't meddle in their karma. Instead, focus more on yourself, on caring for yourself. Remember, trying to change others drains you, but changing yourself is real growth. When you become better and more accepting of yourself, you'll also become more accepting of the other person. You'll understand and sense their emotions, their fears they're too scared to face. And in this supportive environment, change happens naturally. After all, we all want to become better versions of ourselves. Got it? Follow me and learn how to keep your relationships happy and long-lasting.